Welcome to The Foundry by Forge College. Today, we are putting our tools to work and implementing action endpoints. In our last lesson, we focused on EIP 2981 digital asset rules to manage creator royalties on-chain. Now, we need a way to actually send commands from a standard website over to those on-chain assets. Web 2 applications cannot drop data directly onto the Solana blockchain. They speak different languages, use different architectures, and operate in entirely different environments. To bridge that gap, we build something called action endpoints. You can think of an action endpoint as a highly specialized intergalactic post office that sits right on the border between the traditional web and the blockchain. This post office acts like a very strict receptionist. It receives standard web requests from your users, checks the packages for errors, makes sure everything is packed neatly in the right format, and then securely hands it off to the blockchain. Without this strict receptionist at the front desk, any bridge you build between Web 2 and Solana would quickly collapse under a pile of messy, unpredictable, and missing data. So how does this receptionist actually work? When a payload of data arrives, the very first step is input validation. It's just like checking the shipping label on a box to make sure the required fields, like the sender's user ID and the specific action they want to take, are actually filled out. If a user forgets a required field, the endpoint refuses the package. It immediately bounces the request back with a 400 bad request error. On the web, these 400 level codes are the universal way of saying your data is broken, and it ensures junk never touches your blockchain code. Look at this diagram of a data conveyor belt. When a request passes the initial check, it moves to data normalization. The scanner takes all that messy, unpredictable data from the web and compacts it into a standardized shape. We call that sleek, perfectly packed box a canonical payload. Because we force the data into this specific shape, the Solana side of our application is guaranteed to receive the information in the exact format it expects every single time. Catching typos and reformatting data right at the network boundary creates a shield for your blockchain logic. It ensures your integration won't break just because a web browser sent a date format backward. Now, not all requests take the same amount of time to process, so our post office sets up two different lines for service. We'll start with the synchronous line, which is built for fast, simple transactions. In the synchronous line, the client hands over their data, waits at the counter for a fraction of a second while it is processed, and gets their final result along with a 200 OK message, the internet's standard green light signal that everything went perfectly. But look at this flowchart. If a task requires heavy lifting on the blockchain, it would block that fast line and make everyone else wait. To solve this, we create a second path, the asynchronous endpoint, designed specifically for background processing. In this flow, the endpoint accepts your payload and drops it into a holding queue. It immediately hands you back a 202 accepted status, which is essentially a work-in-progress receipt, along with a unique operation ID. You can use that tracking number to check back on your task later, a process called polling, to see if it's finished. This lets the system work on your request in the background without holding up other web traffic. By splitting your traffic into these sync and async lanes, your API remains fast and responsive, preventing application bottlenecks regardless of how complex the blockchain transaction is. Once a package is standardized and sorted, it heads out back to the loading dock. In our system, this loading dock is called the bridgeHandler. It takes that perfectly shaped canonical payload and actually drives it across to Solana. Here is the most important part of this setup. The action endpoints at the front desk and the bridge handler at the loading dock are completely separate pieces of code. The receptionist does not drive the delivery truck. Separating how data is received from how it is processed is a core architectural principle taught throughout the courses at Forge College. It keeps your code clean, modular, and easy to test. Because the web server is physically decoupled from the blockchain integration, you could entirely swap out or upgrade your Solana smart contracts later without ever needing to change your web-facing API. This full map brings it all together. A payload arrives from the web, faces strict validation at the gate to filter out errors, and is normalized into our standard shape. It then gets routed down the line, either taking the fast synchronous loop for an instant reply or dropping into the asynchronous queue to be handled in the background. Finally, the endpoint hands the pristine payload off to the bridge handler, which acts as the single source of truth for the Solana handoff. Because the system filters out bad data at the gate and queues up heavy tasks so they don't crash the server, it creates a setup that can handle high traffic while staying protected from errors. Next time, we'll cover how to add clear logging and health checks, what professionals call observability, to this exact system so you can see exactly how your data is moving. To learn more about this and explore the rest of the Web 2 to Solana programs, visit forge.college.